Long, long ago, in a Sims podcast, far, far away.
I can keep going. I could keep going. Like, oh, please no. That's the podcast, everyone. That's going to be the whole show. Me badly singing the Star Wars tune.
Welcome to Under the Plumb Bob, the podcast about all things related to the EA Maxis series of games called The Sims. We avoid the real world by talking about our made-up ones. Okay.
It's me. I have to stop. I have to stop or I'll never stop. Thanks for joining us, everybody. For our first musical intro, I'm Melissa.
I'm Jessica.
Oh, can you believe it? We got a Star Wars pack.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Look, guys, we know people feel all kinds of ways about this.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about it. The good, the bad, the ugly,
everything.
The Batuu, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been living under a asteroid or space-sized rock, you'll know that the next game pack has been announced. It was announced at Gamescom just the other week. The Sims TM 4, Star Wars TM, Journey to Batuu game pack. It was announced a few weeks ago now on Gamescom Live. They released this, reveal and had a gameplay trailer, and it felt a little bit different than some of our other pack releases we've had, and we have some theories about that. But I mean, to start, Jess, how do you feel about a Star Wars centric game pack in The Sims?
It's interesting. I grew up watching the original trilogy. Not so much a Star Wars fan anymore. I'm interested to see like what all it entails. I've only seen some bits and pieces here and there. I'm definitely not straight up negative about it, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think this all started back maybe a couple weeks to months ago when there was a leak of a like the pack icon from like the lobby of the game, the main screen, and someone snapped a photo of it, and it looked like a sky no, like a oh my god, what are they called? Skyline. Like the skyline of like a town or a village or a city with two like large things in the sky. And like a lot of people went, "Oh, Star Wars." And I thought, I mean, yeah, 2 moons, but really a Sim Star Wars pack? Like, is that a thing that could happen?
Mm-hmm.
And I was shook. I was shocked. I thought it could be like literally anything else because the gurus were so hush hush about pretty much everything about this upcoming release. Who knows why, but I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic. I have been kind of trying to expand the way that I play The Sims more. So whatever this pack has to offer, like I'm gonna give it a try. You know, I've waited for the last couple of packs to go on sale to purchase them, so this could be an opportunity to do the very same. But you know, it's basically for Star Wars fans and non-Star Wars fans alike, this is definitely groundbreaking news, but for the Sims community, it has caused quite a bit of a stir. So I want to hop in and talk about, I want to start with some opinions from our team members. Melly of Team Llama chimed in. She is a huge Star Wars fan. Her gamer tag was Darth Melly for many years. She's probably not going to be buying this game pack, she writes. I don't play Sims for the storyline. I play as a sandbox game, and I have no interest in my Sims meeting the Star Wars Sims or the Star Wars character Sims. I feel like Strangerville was a test run to see how Simmers would do with a story-driven pack, and that got mixed reviews, as we know. And this feels like it was purely pushed by Disney and EA because all of the other Star Wars games released during this game conference. I don't like it, and I will wait until it goes on sale to maybe get it, and if I do, it's purely for the build and create a sim options. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair statement.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin says, this is definitely an EA push to get Star Wars content out. During the Gamescom trailer rollout event, almost all of the EA games shown were Star Wars related games. This, Caitlin says, and I agree, this feels like, the Sims team didn't really have a ton of say in this coming out, as in like this content being chosen for a promotional pack. Like, this is a promotional pack.
Yeah.
And this has happened in the past. We've had like an H&M pack, I think in Sims 3 or 2.
Yeah. There was a diesel pack for Sims 3. I remember that one.
I remember that one too. I remember getting it because, completionist, and being like, I don't know that any of this is really my style, but here we are. And there was the IKEA pack back in the day.
I just remember the diesel pack for the underwear with the randomly placed tags on it.
Yeah, that's so true. Oh my, like the visual is very strong in my head right now. That's so funny. So like it's happened before. EA is a company, Max is a company, they gotta make money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't want to front load this with defense here. Caitlin goes on to say, I got the feeling the gurus were not as excited about this pack announcement. Normally, when they are excited, they do more teases and clue drops. Remember Strangerville? Remember all of the like hidden messages beforehand? And God, there was so much lead up to Strangerville and Realm of Magic, even a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
So, recent history dictates that the gurus' social media profiles definitely lend themselves to hyping up a little bit beforehand, and we really didn't get any of that for this one.
Yeah, it was more of a surprise since the gurus really weren't doing anything.
Yeah, and I mean, Sim Guru Ninja Dave has been known as like a Star Wars fan. And he's kind of had to come out and defend this pack a little bit. So I don't know. It's interesting to see them like on the defensive when there wasn't a ton of like prep work for this
one. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Caitlin will probably buy it. Not super excited, but she likes being a completionist and having most of the things. Plus, if I can build an R2-D2, I want that in my life. After seeing the Game Changers reviews of it, this will be one of the first packs I wait for a sale to get. I still want a little purple R2, but I will wait. I think you can also build like little BB-8s and stuff, so that's pretty exciting.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I have watched minimal like reviews so far. I don't like actively do spoiler free, but I don't know. I really like discovering things in the game for myself. Like that's part of the reason why I buy it. Like I stayed away from spoilers for Strangerville as much as possible, and that was like the best part of it. And I feel like that's gaming culture outside of The Sims. Like part of a story driven RPG. Part of the fun of it is, diving in and unlocking the story and seeing where it goes. And, with Strangerville and potentially this journey to Batuu, it might be Maxis's attempt at like story-driven RPG, which, I mean, is hard to do with a simulation game.
Yeah. The Sims has never really been like one for storytelling that much.
I would say the strong exception to that would be in Sims 3. I've said it before, the World Adventures pack, I played the crap out of all of those hidden temples and like going through and like that was their most, I don't know, one of the most linear sort of journeys you would have to go through as a Sims player to get to the end result. And we've seen more of that in Strangerville, but I don't know. I think I think a story-driven RPG also gives you like actual gameplay options. Like you're controlling the character. You have combat. Sims isn't really that. And
No.
I don't know. Like, and I love Sims for what it is. So it feels like a weird direction to
Yeah.
take it in because, people like The Sims because it's different, because it's not your average game. So that is not to say that they can't experiment and do new things, but I think it's worth stating that, like, I don't know. The reason people like The Sims, the people who play The Sims like it for many reasons, but one of the things that sets it apart is that it's a choose your own adventure,
Yeah. It's what you make of it.
Mm-hmm. So that is all to say that the Sims community is not happy right now.
No.
Um, it's not cute. It's not great. Um, so
No.
to start,
Not at all.
it's just and like there's not liking something, and there's being very outspoken and in some ways abusive in social media and tweets. So the Star Wars Journey to Batuu official reveal trailer has 29,000 likes and 61,000 dislikes at the time of this recording. That may have changed, but point being, overwhelmingly, 2/3 of viewers of this trailer downvoted it, essentially.
Yeah.
And like that's telling, and I think that that's fine. I mean, that's what those buttons are for. You want to voice your opinion, and I mean, the community is certainly rallying to try to, make their voice heard. But it's a very tough dynamic because this is not a democracy. This is a
No.
company that puts out content, and people get very demanding.
Yeah. And I think it's cool that they listen to the community as much as they do, but the bottom line is this is a company and this is what they're making.
Yeah. Yeah, for the money. The
Yeah.
money that, like,
Yeah. I mean, they do care about us, but they also care about the money.
and I mean, like, there are people who have outwardly said, like, I will buy it, but I'm going to be mad about it. You know what? EA is like, great, be mad about it.
Yeah.
Give us your money.
Like, at the end of the day, we have your money.
I know. And so, like, I'm a big proponent of, like, vote with your dollars. Like, if you don't like a thing, don't buy it. Don't pay for it.
Get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to read these tweets. We have some example tweets in the script. But honestly, there's not liking it, and there's being kind of nasty about it. So I won't.
Yeah.
How about this? We can read them, but I don't want to like call out by username.
No, I wasn't gonna do that.
First one we have at Simguru Ninja. God, next time y'all want to collab with someone, ask us first, because I guarantee most people would prefer an IKEA collab over this. I would love a IKEA collab. True.
I would too. At Simguru Ninja, really, of all things, don't you guys have enough games in the Star Wars franchise? Why bring it to The Sims? Give us what we really want. Don't you listen to what us Simmers actually want? Yeah.
One more. This game is starting to not be fun anymore for me. It used to feel like an escape, but now it feels like another cash grab game. Hopefully the community wishes get acknowledged in 2021, since I'll have money saved by not buying whatever this is. I don't know. It's tough, and I will give it to Deligracy, whose tweet we also have. I'm so sick and tired of the Sims community constantly tearing down new announcements with negativity. Don't buy the pack if you don't like it. No one is forcing it upon you. And that's true. And, the creators, the developers also have gone out of their way to make Batuu, spoiler alert, by the way, Batuu has been confirmed to be a destination, like a vacation destination. So it's a separate world, so to speak. It's not a Willow Grove or Willow Grove. Did I just say Willow Grove? That's a mall near me. Cut that. Future self, cut that. Oh boy. And now I'm totally blanking on names of places. Cool. Get it together, Melissa.
It's not
It's
like Willow Creek, I think is the town, right?
Right, exactly. It's not like a Willow Creek or a Pleasant View. It's a separate destination. And therefore, theoretically, the casts and the build items from Batuu won't appear in your other sim families. But there was a tweet that had a very comical image of Judith Ward wearing what looked to like an Admiral Akbar mask, like that type of alien face. And real Star Wars stands are probably going to come for me. That's probably inaccurate. I don't care. You get the visual. But it
was an alien head.
Yeah, creepy, buggy-eyed alien head. You get the image. But that tweeter, that person, put that out there, and a guru was very quick to say, like, this is only something that happens intentionally. And the user came back with, it actually didn't happen intentionally. It might be one of my mods or custom content items glitching. So that's always a possibility. And users of custom content and mods should be doing that on their own, at their own risk. Any changes to a game is going to potentially bring about some issues. So there's just a lot of conversations, and just the majority of them seem to be negative. So I think to try to like balance it out, I'm trying to be like supportive of EA and Maxis. Well, maybe not EA, but Maxis and our gurus, who it's just very clear that they work really hard to make stuff that we do want.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think moral of the story, we do say this a lot on Social Bunny episodes. There are things that the community asks for completely validly. I think anything a community asks for is totally valid.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted pools, we got pools. We wanted toddlers, we got toddlers. The skin tone issue is an incredibly valid issue, and one that I think people need to continue to be raising their voices about. But I don't know, and I don't want to criticize the way in which anyone decides to protest or make comments, but I think it's important to realize that these are people too, and they're doing their best with decisions that are sometimes probably out of their control. So it does look dope. Like, it's a cool look for the game from what I've seen so far.
Yeah, I've seen some really cool aspects about it.
Yeah.
Might not have been like the pack that I wanted or expected, but it's what we've got
The
right
Millennium
now.
Falcon is in there. There's another little spoiler moment for you. So just give it a chance, is what I say. I'm not saying to buy it, but like, give the people working on it some slack and just like have an open mind.
It's like people yelling at retail workers. It's not not their fault you don't like something. That's higher up in the company.
It's so it upsets me. That whole concept just upsets me. Just be nice to people. Just be nice to each other.
They're just doing their jobs.
I will say though, the big miss, this probably should have come out on May 4th. National, International Star Wars Day.
May the 4th be with you.
Mm-hmm. So there's my critique. Bink. There's my little critique. Pepper it in there. But I mean, it's also very possible that like it was planned for earlier, and this pandemic, which if you're listening to us in the future, it's September. I just had to look at the clock to see what month it was. What time is it? September. And we're still inside. Still quarantined. Everything's fine. It's fine. Anyway, so moving on from Star Wars news, but also like I'll probably sing the theme song a couple more times in here. We have some sparked destination wedding winners announced. So recently, the Sims Sparked show was released. If you haven't watched it, highly recommend. It's on BuzzFeed. You can catch up. And recently, Llama did a little review on it. I don't know if it's worth jumping to that section right now. I know I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh. So, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to draw further attention to this, but basically I'm a thirsty bitch and I apologize wholeheartedly for making anybody uncomfortable. Would you like to give some background? I don't know if you want to paraphrase Melly's important update down here.
Okay.
But if I do it, I will start to cry. So
Yeah, so basically Melly decided that we needed to get the attention of the gurus. So she used the Sparked recap episode from Llama and tweeted at Simguru Ninja and EA manager Holly. And she commented that she was going to listen to our episode. Dave liked a few of our tweets before actually following us. We are being followed by Simguru Ninja, everybody.
it's real. We're so thrilled, Dave, sir, Mr. Miyoki. I'm very sorry. If you are still listening, it's an honor. We're so thrilled to have you. We were very silly in that last episode, me in particular, because listen, I like a man with a mustache. I just gotta say, but it's really cool to know that not only did they like, because he liked a couple of our tweets, but he mentioned, like, he added us and like referenced a part of the podcast like way late in the episode. So like the man
He didn't just listen to the first few minutes and turn it off. He listened.
He listened. So I'm geeked about that, and it was such a blast to record. So if you haven't listened to that episode, and if you don't know about Sparked, just check it out. It's a good time all around. It added lots to my life. So that's about all I wanted to say there. But as part of the show, you may have seen this in your Sims main menu. There was a Sparked challenge for destination weddings. So you could create either a family wedding venue build, or you can like create like a storytelling feature based on your content, which is something they've never really done before, and I think is pretty dope. Check out EA's website, The Sims Sparked, and you can check out all of the challenge winners there.
I love the skeleton wedding. That one's cool.
So cute. So cute. I am just gagging with delight over all of these builds.
Mm-hmm.
There's just like a freaking castle that you can have your wedding in.
They're so cool.
I mean, these are vineyard. Love it. I did start this challenge. Like, I started a build for it based on the farmhouse where my friends got married. So maybe y'all will see that at some point. You know, I'm just a build duchess. It's not quite ready yet. But here's the thing. Recently, there was a patch that went through, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But the headline for the patch is that you can have destination weddings now. So Sims can go elope and get married in a destination. So, like El Salvador, I'm never gonna get it right. The Jungle Adventures one, is it even called Jungle Adventures? I hate myself.
Maybe.
I'm not. You can get married in a vacation destination. Look them up if you don't know what they are. And so that one could assume is like directly tied to the fact that like there was a challenge about it. So what I'm getting to is the next challenge is called the Golden Age, and it's all about cool stuff you can do with elders.
Yeah.
Which is a thing that we have been asking for. So, guys, people, listen. Showcase your elder sims and what they are passionate about with fashion, or as that's part of the stylist challenge. You can submit a build for create a home fit for your elder sims to live out their golden age, including a room for their passion parentheses s passion or passions. So I mean, like, this is a way that we can share our voice in a constructive way.
Yes.
And show the Sims developers, like, hey, this is a thing that I want, And it can be hard to, show that off in a way, if the items aren't in the game yet, but that's exactly what they're looking for, is for creativity. So, I don't know. Check those out, people. People are sleeping on these
Yes.
challenges.
Have
I
fun
think.
with it. They look so fun.
I know. How have your elder related activities been going, Jess?
My granny cult is growing. I'm sitting at 3 elders, but I have adopted several townie children.
And would you submit Granny Cult into this challenge?
I'm definitely thinking about it. Yes.
So exciting! Simguru Rusky released these patch notes that we're gonna read through a couple of some good ones here.
Okay. In the base game, we have once again vanquished yet another villainous version of error code 134. This time it is error code 13464B8A94A, which is a distant cousin of the original error code 134. Then he also says, "What is error 134? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more."
What is love, 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 baby, don't hurt me. It's a very musical episode.
This is. Should have a whole musical episode. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. I raise my eyebrows knowingly.
They fixed an issue related to curvature points on roofs. They should work better now.
Oh, good.
Yes. Controller layout screens have been updated to reflect the additional controls used in the Spark Challenges tabs in the gallery. So many buttons, so much to see and do. They fixed an issue that generated an error message when submitting an item to the Spark Challenges from the player's catalog. So everything should work there.
Great. All right. Next up, cats and dogs, my favorite. Retrained our good doggos and catos so they can eat, also not on command. So they will no longer eat only when they are told. Give them all the treats anyway. They are such good boys and girls. This is good, because I was running into this in my my rotational play. I, of course, bought the Goths 2 dogs and a cat, and they were being rather troublesome. So I was wondering about that one. Great.
That's good. In Eco Lifestyle, they fixed an issue where NPC Sims would continuously steal objects from lots without having the kleptomaniac trait. They were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should. Love that. They fixed an issue in green lots that did not allow Aurora Borealis and other phenomena to display. I'm glad we fixed this. Now enjoy what nature has to offer.
Have you ever seen the real life Aurora and you know what I mean? What's his name?
No.
There's an actor's name that's like hold on. Please say more. Angel from Buffy.
Oh, David Boreanaz.
David Boreanaz. Yep, that's what I got. That's how I got there. David Boreanaz, Aurora Borealis. Anyway, have you ever seen it?
I have not seen the Aurora Borealis or David Boreanaz in person.
Well, I mean, David Boreanaz, a big fan of his work. He is from the Philly area, as am I. Go Flyers. And also, I've technically seen the Aurora Borealis, but I saw it like in a time of the year where it wasn't like super spectacular. So I did one of those
yeah.
like, can you see it? It's kind of like that like cloudy coloring over there in the sky. And I went, I can see it. It's so beautiful.
Oh, slight tinting.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, not really, but I did my best. So,
Mhm.
in Dine Out, they fixed an issue that made some drinks and food options to be duplicated or go missing on restaurants' menus. I'm all for more of everything, but this seemed a bit extreme. Though double coffees, coffee. I would like to point out that these patch notes were written by Simguru Rusky. I'm not sure if he's usually the one to do it. I think it's Simguru Romeo typically.
Mhm.
But as usual, I just love these snarky patch notes. They're so
I
dope.
know. I love them so much. Okay, in Nifty Knitting, they fixed an issue that prevented PlayStation 4 and Mac OS players from applying the Unlock by Tag SP17 successfully. All the knits belong to you.
I believe that's all the knits are belong to you.
Yes.
A deep cut.
Sims will no longer constantly knit autonomously. Okay, now we know knitting is wonderful, but there is a thing like too much knitting. Distant chance of that's right. And this was a problem that I definitely had. My grannies, if I was not actively telling them to do something, they were running to their any place to sit down and knit something.
I mean, pretty on brand for the granny cult, I will say.
Yes, definitely.
So it worked out in your favor, but
yes, I was starting to run out of money though, because every time they would sit down, they'd start a new project.
no, I
Yeah.
didn't realize. I mean, of course, knitting costs money. I guess that makes sense, but they're just buying up yards and yards of yarn.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no, new project, new project, new project. Like, what are you, me?
Gertrude,
Stop.
stop it.
Yeah.
What? It's not Gertrude. It's a even cuter name. I feel like you said it in the chat.
Brenda.
Brenda. We love Brenda. We stand.
Brenda.
Xbox One. If you subscribe to EA Access, you may notice the logo displayed on the pack information screens are now displayed as EA Play as part of a rebrand of EA's subscription. Good to know. Breaking news. We received word after recording this episode that not only will Xbox EA Play be getting a rebrand, but all of Origin is actually going to be getting a rebrand and a visual refresh, according to GameIndustry.biz. The client will be called, wait for it, EA Desktop App. Very sexy. Definitely better than Origin. It'll be faster, simpler, and include more cross-platform features, according to GameSpeed. Other improvements reportedly include a better patching experience for updating games and access to more information about how much time you're spending playing. Yeah, I definitely need to know how many more hours of my life I'm dedicating to The Sims. And some more recent patch notes from September 3rd came out by Simguru Romeo and Simguru Rusky. That is more than likely due to the fact that the patch notes from what we just read ended up screwing up a lot of mods, and not just like the regular amount. Like mods and CC were affected, but a lot of people got some error codes and game breakage that they hadn't before. So we got a couple fixes there.
Mouse hovering over purchased traits will no longer display the text "not available for robots." We understand that robots are sentient beings, but unfortunately, these traits are not robot compliant.
Someday I'll be human.
Someday. Fixed an issue in which lots with applied terrain manipulation were being placed backwards when downloaded from the gallery. Where's the door? Is this the front or back? Order has been restored at last. Fixed an issue in which terrain paint did not apply correctly under trees and foundations. The UI team did some housekeeping and have fixed some background stretching happening in career panels. Blinking shadows no longer appear when placing windows in basement levels that are of the same variant. I do admit that was a bit spooky. Not the time, Windows, not the time.
So I know, right? Worst time ever to like have a spooky window situation.
Yeah.
I think this is something that we talk about in our Move Objects On episode that's coming up. So some of that information might be out of date, but prior to this patch, you couldn't place windows wherever you wanted to. With, I mean, outside of the grid, that is to say. So this potentially opens up a lot of build mode options.
Mm-hmm. Color swatches for build mode item large dancing water emitter have been fixed. Staircases will no longer get cut through trims when there is no landing. Safety first.
Thank you. I've been waiting for that one for a while.
Yeah, I've got that problem in one of my worlds too.
Agreed. Now they'll only let us not have a middle railing when there's like a super wide
yes.
staircase. That might be fixed, actually. I don't remember. I haven't tried to build a big staircase in a while. So write to us if we're wrong. In Discover University, some flowers and trees in Gibbs Hill will no longer appear to be floating as Sims walk by. To be honest, the idea of floating flora is quite appealing to me.
Would be a little interesting seeing trees just floating. In Eco Lifestyle, civil designer Sims will no longer come home after work wearing random footwear. I'm all for putting your feet up after work, but switching footwear in the middle of things and coming home from work in a completely different state as you went out. It's kind of suspicious.
All right, I got something to say here. Back in the olden days, when we could go outside, I used to work in an office building, and I would walk to work. I took the train and I would walk to my building in comfortable shoes. And then when I arrived at my desk, under my desk, there's an entire box of yucky, terrible high heels that I would then put on and change into at work. So it is not unheard of to change footwear at work. And there were at least a couple times where I was so like wrapped up in the end of my day and like trying to decompress or whatever that I would get like halfway back to the train station home and realize I'm still wearing my terrible shoes. So I would have like left my travel shoes at work. Anyway, it's irrelevant now. There's no going back to that world anyway, so who cares?
Oh.
Sobbing.
It's okay, Melissa.
I love it.
We'll get through it.
It's so much fun. I love being home all the
time. They fixed an issue that caused some color swatch glitches on civil designer outfits.
For Realm of Magic, they fixed an issue with thumbnails generated in the gallery for toddlers that generated not only their sim form, but also included their spellcaster form. We can only contain the cuteness so much.
Aww.
You can't be a spellcasting toddler?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Dang it. They gotta grow into their powers.
In Nifty Knitting. What's that? Did you still hear the sounds of knitting when canceling knitting interactions? Not a problem anymore.
Was this also an issue in Granny Cult?
Not that I noticed, but I have been playing with music in the background, so I can just barely hear them talking over the music.
Yeah, I don't play with sound, so that wouldn't have affected me, but...
Well, that's good that they fixed it, though. Fixed an issue with asset CF Hair SP17 Locks Long that made it display all adult color swatches.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of the new hairstyle options offered with that pack. It seems like probably had an issue with some of the hair colors, so...
Oh, I think I know what that is, because when I got one of the little girls in, I was changing her hair, and I saw all of these. I'm like, well, this is interesting for the kids to have. Not sure if that's what that one was or not.
I don't know. Well, I mean, hopefully, this fix on a certain hair is, omen's not the word. A good sign of what's to come for hair and skin and just the overall look that you can get for a sim in Create a Sim.
Yes.
Sim Guru Lindsay recently addressed the very valid concerns, I will say, about skin tones represented in The Sims 4 in a tweet that I believe linked out to like a longer message So Lindsay Pearson at SimGuru Lindsay, she's the one with the colander hat from back in the day when we had Strangerville. I think she was the only one who managed to escape Mother in the promotional tweets that they did. But Lindsay made a video that has been viewed at the time of this recording 553.3 thousand times. She goes and gives this really impassioned speech about the skin tone issue, and gives a couple of updates. The Sims team also released a statement, probably in response to this Journey to Batuu pack coming out, seeing a lot of backlash from fans. Again, it's one thing to be upset that we don't have cars and spiral staircases and hashtag horses for vanity. Valid, but not like death threat valid.
Yeah.
Neither are skin tones,
Yes.
honestly. Like, they are incredibly important. But let's make this very clear. SimGuru Lindsay and many other people who work on that team are getting death threats.
That is so not okay.
Which,
yeah.
Like, my blood is boiling. Like, these are human beings. Wherever your priorities are in life, where you're sending death threats to someone who you don't know for a game that they make for you, by the way.
Yeah.
I can't.
I know.
It is without words. And it's tough to even say anything about.
I know. If something like that gets you so upset that you need to send them death threats, I think you need to step away for a while. 'Cause at the end of the day, it's just a game. It's not that serious. It really isn't.
It's time to go back to the real world for a minute, jabroni. Yeah. All right. To end on some more fun notes, we've had a couple, with all of the craziness in the community the past couple weeks, there have been a few kind of tweet threads that are maybe silly, maybe something more. So, choo choo, welcome to the speculation station. To start, at GE English 01 tweeted on August 10th, I love Parenthood when it came out, but I do now realize that it's a BTEC Generations. What does BTEC mean?
I have no idea. I was trying to figure that out.
Let's see. Oh, of course. Business and Technology Education Council. No, that's not it. That cannot be it. BTech. Thanks, Urban Dictionary. A crappy knockoff that doesn't try to knock off. Uses include a pencil is a BTech pen. Okay. Logic is such a BTech M&M. I don't know where that even came from. A downgrade of something. Again, no origin to be said, but very interesting. Gotta love Urban Dictionary for the lingo of the kids.
So not with it.
Yeah, I mean, God, I am a million. So, to which Dave Miyoki at SimGuru Ninja replied 20 minutes after the original tweet, I might add, 2 totally different packs and totally different sizes. Parentheses, one is an expansion pack, the other is a game pack. End parentheses. Parenthood isn't meant to be generations. It's meant to make the kids and teens age more meaningful, leading into adulthood. Parentheses, don't mind me nerding out. It's my favorite game pack. Daddy, I mean, nope, I don't. Cut that.
Cut it.
Oh, we have to stop. I promised I'd stop. Well said, Mr. Miyoki. But at OGOZMIT replied, so there's still a chance that we'll get a proper Generations pack for TS4? I love to hear it. To which Dave replies, rule nothing out. Parentheses, it could be fun, right? Which, like, Dave, I'm looking right at you, fam. You know what you're doing here.
Yes. Teasing.
You know. So that got retweeted like 8 billion times. I don't know. Because people, of course, see that and are freaking out. he has to clarify about 12 minutes later because you realize what you did. You stirred the pot and
Yes.
you walked away, Dave. He says, "Oh goodness, to folks trying to read too much into this, not saying we are making this, just saying we haven't made it in The Sims 4. Parenthood isn't generations."
Mm-mm.
Cinderella Mouse very aptly replied, "You mention it, you make it. You know the rules." Dave replies with the laughing, crying emoji and says, "I'm going back to bed." Dave,
Dave.
I mean, like, just he knows what he does to us. He
Mm-hmm.
knows. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Every word was picked with care. I know it was.
We see you. We see. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, honestly, though, like, you can't rule anything out, especially after all the like mother stuff. Everything pre Strangerville tells me that like they are watching, they are listening, they are. I don't know. I love that they did that, but they may have unintentionally like, I don't know, maybe put themselves out there too much as like
Mm-hmm.
very available, sources for, listening and like complaining to. Maybe that's why the Sims community feels like they can so openly like trash the series because like the creators are right here. We're talking right to you.
Yeah.
Again, keep in mind they're people too. But it's wild. I mean, you never know, right? You never
Mm-hmm.
know.
Never know.
Take that speculation train where you will.
Yes.
Next item. At Sims Lover DS posted 2 images and the text, "I wonder what will happen if I buy it." Crying laughing emoji twice. Hashtag The Sims 4. Seems like a new pack is coming soon. So the image is, and it looks like this user is from a non-American country. I think that's a Euro sign, but I am not an educated human being.
Yeah. I think it is.
Um, and it's just she's in her Origin account and must have clicked on like complete your collection or was, clicking around in The Sims. And it says stuff packs SP18PH display name. SP18PH short description, SP18PH long description. Basically, for $9.99, it actually like gave her the option to like get all the way through to like review order and purchase. I don't know if she did purchase it.
I think some people actually did purchase it because I saw something from EA saying that they were refunding any purchases people made.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, this user in particular, in her replies, states, "I was about to pay but couldn't risk it." Yeah, I saw that too. I saw some refunds coming out, but I think at the very least that does show that like we might be getting a stuff pack soon, which I think that's what's next in the rotation, right?
I think
If
so.
if the Star Wars one is a game pack, the last expansion pack was Eco,
Yeah.
and yeah, and well, no, where was Nifting? Nifty
Nifty.
Knitting was
Nifty
somewhere
knitting.
in there.
Yeah.
So who knows? But it looks like we're getting a stuff pack.
That's pretty exciting.
Yay! They're coming out with stuff, you guys.
Yay.
There is a theory that, based on again D Dave and his Twitter cover photo, there's like a Viking or Middle Ages theory that the next game pack will be either Viking themed or Middle Ages themed. Dave's Twitter background, as of this recording, has 3 teddy bears, and it looks like the typical art style of Sims 4 concept art. It's got like a peasant bear, a knight bear, as in knight in shining armor bear, and a pirate bear. It feels very reminiscent of The Sims Medieval, which we have talked about in a previous episode.
Mm-hmm.
Ava has lots of feelings and thoughts on it, so go check that out. Sati Sims, our beloved sim builder who makes all of those ginormous World of Warcraft builds. We featured her in our Alice in Wonderland episode. She plays a lot with like sizing up and sizing down options for build and buy mode and make some really cool things. So Sati tweeted, "Hey, at SimGuru Ninja, just wanted to tell you that I can't take any more teasing from your banners or profile pictures. Yes, you guessed it right. I want a medieval farming pack with pirates and soldiers, and I also want a new supernatural race of teddy bears." Okay, thanks, bye. I don't know, man. I mean, how would you feel about that if it was like from what I'm seeing, I'd lean more towards a medieval pack, if I had to guess.
Yeah, that is what it's looking like to me.
And how would you feel about that coming out?
I'd definitely be interested in that. I think that would be add some really cool stuff to the game.
So like Sims Medieval is like well beloved.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I think if they're going with this idea of like the destination worlds can be a different destination in time or space, you know, very interesting that this sort of ties into the Sparked challenge, the actual show. They asked for they asked for the builders to come up with a new mode of transportation, and one of the competitors, instead of making a traditional mode of transportation, she made a time machine, which I think, I mean, I might be pulling at strings here. I'm that gif of Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny with the red string and the like it all comes together.
Oh, yeah.
That guy.
Mm-hmm.
I might be that person, but I think the idea that the destinations can be other worlds, like other timelines, or you know, you can be transported and live in that, you know, very separately. And I think that to me is a really cool use of it. If it's Star Wars, it's Star Wars, but I mean, it can also be a number of other things.
Mm-hmm.
So
this whole thing's just made me think that The Sims needs a TARDIS now.
Yes.
Yes.
That'd be a dope collab.
That would be. I would love it so much.
And so the final speculation situation is still a little confusing to me. So if you've got more deets on this, write us. We'll give you the plugs at the end of the show. So there's a tweet that was released by at Mezza96, MEZZA_96. And they tweet at Has a Plum Bob, who describes themselves as a lifelong simmer, Star Wars nerd, artist. At Has a Plum Bob. So I saw this the other day. You weren't around. How? I don't know. You don't do anything. So I recorded it for you, like the good friend I am. And this is a like iPhone video of the Sims site, including a new game pack, expansion pack, called The Sims 4 Murder at the Manor expansion pack. Now let's just live in this world for a moment. How would that expansion pack, like, what would that look like to you, or what would you want it to look like, I guess?
I'd probably lean close to, I'd love to see it like a Clue kind of a setup.
Oh, I really love that.
Multiple endings.
Yeah. Yes. Or even like, I don't know, like I feel like you could set that up with how the game actually is. I don't know what an expansion pack about that would look like. I really don't know. I'm intrigued. Look, it's got murder in the title. I'm intrigued. Yes. I don't know. Caitlin's comment, if this is in any way true, I don't hate the idea for a murder mystery pack, just maybe not for an expansion pack. I agree. Again, I don't know conceptually what that could be. I'm trying to think on the fly here. Definitely
would sounds more like a game pack idea more than a whole expansion.
Because like if you think of like the glamour of Clue, I'm thinking of the Tim Curry movie. Because like that era kind of already has been covered by Vintage Glamour Stuff Pack. That's what it's called. Okay. So like that kind of covers that space and like murder is definitely, I mean, semi-prevalent. I mean, I guess technically in The Sims you can't, like, Sims can't really kill other Sims on purpose,
Yeah.
but I wonder if that conceptually would unlock that. Yeah. Something to think about. You know, really only for a thought exercise though, because the Twitter user that was involved in this tweet originally has come out and said that this is fake. Personally, it feels like a lot of time on your hands to set something like that up.
To fake something like that, yeah. I know I did see some conversation with some people in the community.
Yeah.
They don't think it would ever be called something like murder at the manor if they're not going to call wine in the game like wine. They call it juice. They wouldn't use the word like murder.
We say nectar, but we can't say murder. Like, exactly.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of dope. Yeah.
It would be cool.
Has a Plum Bob says, okay, time to come clean. I was just teasing. It's a fake. Sorry to the 5 people who were actually excited for the pack. I am one of the 5, so.
As am I.
Just saying. Chugga chugga, choo choo. The speculation train has pulled into Speculation Station. If you see any buzz or hear any news, like, we're here to report the news, but we're also here to talk about like what things could be. So even if it's like maybe fake or a salacious rumor, we want to hear it so we can learn more and find out if it's true or not.
Investigative reporting.
That's what we do. Tons of research and well done fact finding. That's what we're all about.
Yes.
All right. So before we wrap up today, what is coming up next with Team Llama and Team Cowplant?
Team Llama will be discussing the Move Objects On cheat with special guest Yellow Plum Bob.
Oh my god!
I am editing that one and I love it so far.
I'm so glad. We had a lot of fun doing that one. And Katie, aka Yellow Plum Bob, is a treat and is super knowledgeable. So if you're a build duchess or maybe even a build peasant, as I used to be long ago, it's a really good learning experience. I asked a bunch of like dumb questions and got a ton of like great ideas for my builds.
And I have already been implementing some of the stuff you guys bring up in my games, so it's a good one to tune into. And Cowplant talks about how families have changed over the years throughout the Sims franchise.
You know how back in the day we had Bob and Betty Newbie and they were white people with not a lot going on. They've changed over the years. They're not even called the Newbies anymore. So, I mean, tune into this episode to learn a little bit more about, you know, diversity and blowing up the nuclear family, as it were, in The Sims.
Yes.
Before we sign off, we would be remiss not to wish The Sims 4 a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
The ham horn. Somebody get the ham horn. All right. Enough. Happy birthday, The Sims 4. We're glad to have you. And just here's to 6 more years or more than that. I mean, until Sims 5 comes along. Who knows?
For however long that may be. We will enjoy you.
Yeah, I'm good with however long that's going to be. 6 years, man.
A long time. But it's fun. It's been fun.
Yes. September 2nd. So a little bit after this recording, but be sure to wish your local Sims 4 a happy birthday. Okay, I'll do the music.
Okay. You can find us on all over social media. We are Plumbobcast on Instagram and Twitter, Plumbob Podcast on Reddit. We are Under the Plumbob Podcast on Facebook and Tumblr. You can check out our website, undertheplumbob.com. You can email us at undertheplumbobpodcast@gmail.com. We are also on Twitch and YouTube, where we provide video content. Stay up to date on what and when we are streaming. Follow us on social media for all of that. Subscribe, rate, and review. We are on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, Google Play, Pandora, and more. Thanks to everyone on our team who kept up with the news in the Sims world this month, especially Caitlin. She did so much work on this episode.
Tons and tons. We appreciate it. Oh, sorry.
Thanks as... Oh, no, it's fine.
Back to the music.
Go. Yeah. Thanks as always to the wonderful Sim fan sites out there that provide most of our research and news. Sims Community, Sims VIP, Carl, we love you.
Feel better.
Yes. Keep feeling better, always. The Sims Wiki, Simmers Digest, Iron Seagull on YouTube. And last but definitely not least, thank you for listening and loving the game as much as we do.
We love you. Thank you for being kind. Be kind to each other on the internet. I stopped singing the Star Wars song because I couldn't think of what came next, and in my head was the Harry Potter one, so that's a different pack that never came out. So anyway, thank you for listening. Save your game if you haven't already, and I don't know, you want to head back to the real world?
Not really, but I guess we'll have to.
Man, we need a new sign-off. We say that every time.
I know.
All right. Well, I'm going into my fake world. See you later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.